Hello and welcome to Survive the Unexpected, and I'm here to give you my top five people who I'd like to see play Survivor again from the cast of Survivor 42. Survivor 42 had a really good cast, and I feel like majority of this cast could come back and play, and I wouldn't be upset about it. So I would like to give you my top five people who I'd like to see play Survivor again. And I feel like there's a very good chance that most of them coming back to play. At number five, I have Jenny. This is the one that I think has the least likely to play again, but I feel like Jenny got screwed in her season with Mike losing his vote. Chanel just risking her vote, even though she knew she shouldn't. Jenny probably played that round the best out of that whole tribe. It's very messy, that tribal, and to unforeseen things happening in that round with Mike losing his vote because of the idol thing, which they had no idea what could happen or would happen, with Chanel just giving up her vote, even though she told Omar, hey, I can't give up my vote. I need my vote for tribal. Her giving up her her giving up her vote there is just so mind-boggling. I still can't wrap my head around it. So Jenny is not this eye-popping character. She is somebody who was playing a decent game. We didn't get to see a lot of her, but like I said, I really like to see people who get screwed out of situations get a chance to play again. And I feel like she got screwed in her season of Survivor. So I would like to see what she could do on a return. She wouldn't have this higher threat level, and people seem to like her and trust her. And she did the smart thing by not giving up her vote when she knew the other two people were going to risk their votes. So she saved her vote. She did the smart thing. She was hoping that everybody else would do the smart thing in that situation, which Chanel did not. So Jenny ends up being here at number five for me. I hope she comes back and returns and wants to play again, but that's totally up to her. But yeah, Jenny is number five. Number four is Marianne, the winner of Survivor 42. So Marianne is one of these eye-popping characters that you're going to see on Survivor. She had funny confessionals. She popped on screen. She made herself known at the challenges, at the tribals, everything. She was not hiding from her personality throughout the game. Some people like to tone down their personality. She was all out there. I feel like we got to know Marianne very well on her season, and I think she played a really good game. She did things to keep herself protected and under the radar early on in the season. And when the merge came around, she made the right moves, and she pulled the biggest move off of the season by getting Omar out at 6 with Anne at 5 getting Mike to play his idol when he promised like 3 other people. She did really impressive things throughout her win. She didn't just get lucky with a couple challenge wins or anything like that. She made it happen. Now, every Survivor winner has a little bit of luck. There's not a season where it is not. But she played really well. I would like to see what she could do on a return, being a former winner, if she can play with such a high threat level to her. She played such a low key game the first time. I'd like to see if she could play a front game, more up in the pack, and maybe dictate more of the action early on. I don't know if she could or if she can, but she did say she would like to play Survivor again in a few years when she's a little bit older, so that way she can stretch out her life through the Survivor, which I wouldn't mind her giving it a few years, maybe another big season, heroes versus villains type season. Now we probably will never get heroes versus villains too, but just like that epic of a season, I think she could be part of the cast like that. So that Marianne is my number four. The only reason why she's not higher is because she won the game, and you know it's fun to see winners play again. But like overall, I'd like to see others people see if they can learn from their mistakes and prevail their second time playing. And number three, I have Drea. So Drea was the advantage queen of Survivor 42. She had numerous advantages, and I feel like she would just kept taking wrong steps with them. She did have to use her idol to save herself to split tribal. She was really in trouble in that round. and she tried to pull off a move against Mike and with one of her another advantages, but Omar, she just couldn't trust Omar in that situation. He used that information for himself to protect Mike, which I thought was the wrong move. But Drea is very physical. She can win immunity challenges. I feel like now it was dominated by a select few, so that's why she didn't win some. But she is definitely not useless in that category. She's very smart. I feel like she had a good social game. She just got outplayed by somebody that was playing the game a little bit better. So I feel like on a return, I'd like to see if she can learn from her mistakes and maybe play a little more cutthroat or keep her advantages to herself. Don't get these advantages and give them up so easily. Give them up. Say, hey, I have this advantage, I have this, I have this, I have this, because people can use that against you throughout the game, which they did, and that's why she was in such trouble throughout the game. Was because she had the people knew that she had these advantages. She had the idol, she had the extra vote, and things like that. So she she could definitely play better on the return. I'd love to see her play again. She was great character, great player. Um, yeah, I think she's definitely somebody that would like on second chances. She would for sure be somebody that I would like to see. I'd vote for if we got a voting say in the second chances. But at number two, I have Mike, the runner up of Survivor 42. So Mike played a really good game. He almost played a winning game. I just feel like he lost it towards the end of the season. So he did make a few mistakes where he got outplayed by Omar with the high vote, and then he tried to use that at FTC and say that was his most impressive move, which it wasn't because Omar convinced him to do it, and it was against his uh, best judgment of the game. Like if he was in a better position to keep High in the game. High was not going to take him to the end, but High was not going to turn on him that early. That was a mistake on Mike's part, and he went to FTC thinking he was this big noble player where he didn't betray anybody, where he stuck to his word, but he betrayed his word many times, and the jury really wanted him to own his game, and he did not. He even argued with the jury, which was a huge mistake. But Mike played a really good game, amazing game. If he just owned what he did at FTC and said, yeah, I did these things, but I had to play like a noble player so that way you guys trust me and I use that against you guys. If he just approached FTC in that direction, I feel like he might have won the game, but Marianne had a really good FTC and Mike had a pretty average to bad FTC. And sometimes that's all it takes to lose the game. And I feel like Mike is somebody who can learn from his mistakes. He won an immunity challenge. He's a fit guy. He is a smart player, very social. Like his social game was on point. Maybe the best social player of the season. And I just feel like on a return, he would learn from his mistakes and be well aware, more self aware of what he's doing within the game. His self awareness at in the game was not the best. He went in thinking he was this big white shiny knight, and he really wasn't. That's nothing. I don't mind that he wasn't at all. That's not a knock from me at all. I love people seeing people play the game hard in different ways, and being cutthroat is not a bad thing, but being cutthroat and then pretending that you weren't is. So he needs to go to FTC knowing that he's played this type of game, and if he could do it again and he went to FTC, yeah, I was the noble guy who convinced you I was noble, but I used that against you. I think the results could be different. I think we could talk about Mike winning a different season of Survivor. That's how good I think Mike is. It's just he stumbled at the end. No knock against him. It happens. So I would love to see Mike play again. He said he would like to play again. So I hope we do get to see Mike in a future season somewhat soonish because he is a little bit older. I don't want to wait too long where he's too old. So my number one, I don't know if this should be a shock to if anybody listened to the podcast about Survivor 42, but my number one is Omar. I think Omar was playing one of the best games we've seen in a long time. I think he made a couple mistakes that were crucial at the end game where it cost him his game. Uh, he was pulling things off with no vote. He was getting all this information. Everyone thought he was on their side. The outcast thought he was an outcast. The majority knew he was part of the majority, and he used every aspect of the his knowledge to make moves within the game. I just really feel like he made a huge mistake by getting the information from Drea about Mike's idol, and then instead of voting Mike out, he kept Mike. Me personally, think the move was to take Mike's idol like he did, and have Drea play the knowledge of power. It doesn't come up. They vote Mike off. Omar now has an idol. Now we did, in retrospect, we did find out he had an idol nullifier, so that took precedent in his thinking that he could give the idol back to Mike. He could just use it for round 5. But then he also made a huge mistake in round 6 by not pressing Lindsay to use the idol on him. They were trying to hide the fact they were like a tight 2, but everyone knew they were a tight 2 at that point. There's only 6 people left. It's kind of hard to hide who are you close with at that point of the game. So he is somebody I feel like would learn from his mistakes for sure. And I would love to see if he could do it again and improve on his game this time and hopefully go all the way. Because I feel like the game he was playing might have been like an all-time great game if he could have pulled it out in the end. Some of the moves he was making were so impressive to me. It was amazing to see him play. I would love to see him play again, and this is why he's my number one, a top 5 people I would like to see play Survivor again from Survivor 42. He was maybe the best player out there, and I really do think he could improve on his game and maybe make another deep run. So if you guys like to enjoy the video, please give me a like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can join our Facebook page, or follow us on Twitter, follow all our podcasts. We're on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean. Yeah, just give us a like, subscribe would mean a lot to us. We really appreciate it. If you like videos like this, just let us know and we'll do some more in the future. But thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks. Bye.